Brian Jennings,
Yo, yo.
thank you
What's
so much
up?
for talking to Bayloric TV.
No problem, man. It's an honor. It's a pleasure, man.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, on the low. Time go by fast, man. Time go
It,
by very fast.
it does, but now you're in there, Mike Perez.
Yeah, yeah. Mike Perez.
So, I know the first fight got cancelled. I believe it was Perez that got injured, was it?
Yeah, he injured his shoulder.
Okay, so now it's on now for sure next weekend, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so how are you feeling leading up to this fight?
I'm good, man. I'm focused. I'm in shape. I'm good. No problems, man. I mean, what more can I ask for?
The fight against Perez. So Perez is obviously, he's arguably the biggest name you've got on your record to fight against. So he's your toughest test. Would you say?
Um, so to say.
So to
So to
say.
yeah, so to say.
So you're not.
We'll see.
We'll see. You're not buying into the hype then.
Yeah, nah, not really, because Arthur Spilter was supposed to be my toughest, and he wasn't.
But you know,
So
and I know, and we were talking together about this. I didn't see that as being your biggest test of your career. No way. I mean, this Perez guy's got a good amateur record as well.
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
I,
Other than that,
I've tipped you to win the fight late on. 10th round stoppage.
uh huh.
That's where I've tipped you at. How do you see the fight going yourself in your mindset?
Well, I just see the fight literally me. I go for the win. However the win come, that's how I'm gonna get it. As long as I shoot for the win. Shooting for a knockout all the time is kind of childish and immature in this boxing world. So you just got to, like I always do, pick my shots, take my time, be patient, and when he's ready to go, he'll go himself.
Fred Jenkins, your trainer.
Uh-huh.
Not a lot of people in the UK really know about how much of a master and how much of a key component he is, not just to you as a fighter, but so many other fighters. Tell me a bit about
Uh-huh.
Fred Jenkins and his input into your career.
Well, that's who I started off with. That's who I've been with since day one.
Right.
And he taught me all of the great old school tactics, and he taught me a lot about boxing. The other part was coming from me and experimenting, and we adjusted pretty well. The chemistry is great, and we've been down since day one. He's a
Wow.
great trainer.
So what are you in this fight in particular? Is there anything you've adjusted in your training camp, or is it the same old, same old?
Uh, yeah, nothing too much special. I always work on me. I'm not
Yeah,
working on the opponent.
of course.
I'm working on me. You know what I mean, to to be a better defender, to be a better offensive person. To be a better all around boxer. Period. I don't really focus on the fighter. Of course, we focus on whatever weaknesses he has, but some of those weaknesses can be worked on by strengthening some of my strengths, or strengthening some of my weaknesses.
Right.
So I just we don't we that's all I do. All thing I worry about is me, my conditioning, my training, and my ability.
And from where you started your career to this point now, did you envision yourself being where you are now at this point, or did you think, well, I'll get there, but it'll take me a little longer?
No, I envision myself to be there. I actually envision myself to be exactly where I was going to be at back in May 2013 when the Klitschko consideration came about.
Yep.
And when I first started boxing, I said, by 2013 I'll be fighting for a world title. I was considered that was close enough. Then putting all the politics all together, and layoffs and business. I got to see how the game go, and and made a little adjustments, and learned the game, and I'm just rolling with the punches.
Well, it's quite interesting because I bumped into Gary Shaw when he was in London,
Oh, okay.
when George Groves and Carl Froch were fighting.
Oh,
And he
okay.
was telling me how you're working with him now and stuff like that. And he's very excited
Mhm.
about you and you being on board now. So how's that working with yourself and Gary Shaw?
It's working good, man. Just two minds think alike, and it's just the chemistry. As long as we can flow. If the water's going one way, as long as we both going with the flow, we don't need nobody trying to swim backwards or trying to you know, or trying to swim,
So that's
or
a
try to,
good one.
or try to swim to the side. So you know, he's swimming right alongside with me, and everything is fine. The chemistry is great, and hey, we here to take over.
I hear you with that. You need people that are positive, moving in the same direction and know what they're talking about. You definitely need that in your corner. It's not just about having a pair of gloves on you and throwing punches. It's far more than that.
Yeah, definitely far more
So,
than that.
the other question I've got to ask: you've got this big fight now, but on the same night, are you aware that Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora are having their rematch?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I would like to watch that fight, but I probably won't because it's that same day. I know it comes on maybe a little earlier, maybe.
Much earlier.
Yeah, so but I probably wouldn't watch it. You know, being as though I had to be focused on what I need to focus on, and you know, my fight's that same day, so
Yeah.
I have to
So,
stay focused. But I'm definitely interested in it. Seems like a great, exciting match. I like Tyson, and you know, I also like Derek as well. So you know,
how do you think that fight's going to play out for you?
I think Tyson's gonna going to get it this time. You know, because before it was controversial of who actually won.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think Tyson's going to pull it off this time. Yeah, but he got some good work in there with Eddie Chambers, and then you know Peter's doing a good job with all his heavy. I'm just riding with that boat right now.
Okay, sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. It's also interesting that you were meant to. There are people talking about you fighting Pulev. Pulev now has done exactly what you didn't do because you didn't
Mm.
feel it was smart at the time to fight Vladimir Klitschko.
Mm.
So Pulev's in the Jennings pool, quite literally.
Yeah. I mean, I actually wanted to fight, but it was a situation with Floyd when he went to Showtime,
Right,
and that you know that kind of messed everything up because things didn't go as planned.
right.
So that's the only reason why I didn't fight him. I was ready. But you know, Pulev, he's not. I don't think he has enough for Vladimir.
So you think it's an easy fight for Vladimir?
Yeah, I think it's an easy fight for Vladimir because it was a tough fight for him and Tony Thompson, man.
Right.
I don't think he won that clean. You know, I mean, he won it, but he didn't. You know, he didn't look too good in that. So you know, you got to you got to watch out, man. Vladimir's a dangerous dude.
Okay. And Bermain Stavern, Chris Ariola.
Yeah.
Bermain, another one I've been talking a lot to. Came to London, had a word with him about it. He's quite happy. He's heavyweight champ now. So, what are your thoughts on Bermain Stavern?
Don't really think of him. Don't really know much of him. Not really, you know, not really interested. Of course, he's competition right now.
Yes.
You know, anybody that's competition and I don't know nothing about, never, you know, spoke with or never, you know, came in contact with, then you know, I don't really think nothing of it.
Okay. Deontay Wilder, a man always been put beside you, and people saying Deontay Wilder, Bright Jennings, blah 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 blah. Deontay Wilder is now pushing forward to fight Bermain Stavern. Do you know anything more about it? Have you heard anything about it or for yourself?
Yeah, well, no, you know, I heard it's not scheduled yet, but you know, same rules apply with him as well. You know, I'm focused on me. I'm not focused on nobody else. There's too much, there's too much focus needed. You know,
For
to
this
be
fight?
focused on yourself. Yeah, on in this fight and in myself. You know what I mean? To waste any amount of focus on somebody else. I'm focused on me and me only.
Okay, well, I have to ask the question. I understand where you're coming from, but there's some people who don't know you in the UK that want to know more about Brian Jennings. So, Brian, why would you be taking this approach to just focusing on yourself and nobody else? Like, do me. Why are you doing the do me approach? Why is your psyche like that?
Because most people get distracted. Yeah, focus definition. My definition of focus is being blind to distractions. So you know, most people are put in the game for distractions. Most people are, well, you know, like this selection is Deontay Wilder. Every time somebody tries to, you know, compare me or do all that, they come, oh, what about the bull? I said, listen, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. I mean, it's just like, yo, I'm not worrying about none of that. I'm focused on what I got to focus on. I mean, that's just like if I'm on a mission for something and somebody want to talk about somebody else. Like, who gives a fuck about somebody else when I'm working hard on my mission?
I can
So
understand that.
I focus on myself and not nobody else. Like, why should I be focused on somebody else? It's like this here is an individual sport, and it takes much focus in order to succeed. And focus is something I have, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only one that's pretty much focused on themselves. I'm not a selfish person. I'm just focused on me. That's it.
Absolutely. Another person who's got the same sort of mentality is Keith Thurman. I've spoken to Keith a number of times, and he's like,
Mm,
"I'm just focused. It's about me. I don't care about who the guy is. I'm just focused on getting the belts. Don't matter
yeah,
who it is. It's
yeah,
just me, and it's my journey." So I guess that's a great principle to go by, and you can't get distracted as much as somebody who would be focused on so many different other fighters. And one of the common things in boxing is fighters say, look past an opponent, and they say,
yeah,
well, I'll
yeah,
fight X, Y, and Z. You haven't got past A. You get knocked out by A,
yeah.
and then everything just goes out of the window.
Yeah. And then they get disappointed because they had a false focus. So they was focused on something else that was that maybe looked possible
Yep.
or maybe looked true, but it was false focus, and they've been deceived, and now they all fucked up in the head. It's kind of like when a woman grows up and a mom tell you that all the guys out there are good, and you go out and meet your first guy as an asshole. Now you all fucked up. You don't believe your mom, none of that shit. So it's just you gotta stay focused, man. And this sport is very tough, and you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You can't be worrying about everybody else.
I mean, since the last time we spoke and now, there is definitely a shift in your focus. Not saying you wasn't focused before, but there's a steely focus about you now that wasn't there before.
I'm on a higher plateau. I'm with a different group of people. Um, my mind is more open. I'm aware of a lot more things. I've gotten smarter. I've experienced a few more things, and it's just the next level of life, and I'm on it. I'm on one, like they say. I'm on one. So I mean, it's right here for the taking.
So, okay, let's turn this now to the youth, because I know you're a great mentor with youth and stuff. What would be your message to youth today? Not just boxing, in any industry. What would be the three principles for you to get into the top?
Determination, ambition, and heart. I mean, because most people, most guys, most youngers, they work well, but they get distracted, so they're not determined on they're not determined they are not determined to continue, even though things may be rocky or whatever. And having that ambition is kind of the same way, but you got to actually want it. You got to actually want to go to the top. A lot of these dudes, they don't want the top. I mean, and what was the last one again?
So, determination, heart.
Yeah, heart. Your heart. If you ain't got the heart, you ain't going nowhere.
But
You ain't going
heart,
nowhere if you don't got
is
heart.
is heart something that can be taught, or is that something that's innate?
Nope. Heart is not something that can be taught. You got to have the heart, because if you don't have the heart, that actually tampers with your ambition. That actually tampers with your determination, because if you don't see things going your way, then you get scared. And when you get scared, you start to back off, and when you back off, you take away from your determination. You're not determined when you back off. And then when you back off and you're not determined, then your ambition is just getting low. You have low ambition, and we all know it takes ambition. Ambition is something that's instilled in you before you even know what you're going to do. It don't,
So,
like you said, it don't have to be boxing and all that. Before you even know what you're going to do, you say, whatever I do, I'm gonna be the best at. That's that untouchable ambition.
Brian, you are a very enlightened brother. I'll give you that. You're an enlightened
Thanks.
brother, and I've just got to say it. You've got to drop it like that to you. You're an enlightened brother, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. It really is.
Thanks, man.
I've said it before. I'm sure you heard my predictions before about you and my thoughts. I call you the second coming of Evander, but more defensively sound. I keep saying
Mhm.
that. There's a term they use with you: defensively responsible. Have you heard it?
Yeah. I've heard it. I've heard it a lot of times. Being defensively responsible, because boxing is a tough sport. They sitting up here acting like this ain't a contact sport. Like if you don't be responsible for yourself, then then you won't get your head knocked off. I mean, you can't be careless in this sport, man. They going out to trying to knock your head off. So I think defense is key, man. Defense is number one.
Yeah, like these fighters want to be a hero and stick their chin out and have big brawls, and it's great. It's
Yeah,
great for one
stupidity,
fight, but
stupidity.
exactly, it doesn't. There's no longevity in your career, and when you're
Yeah,
in your bed beat up, you're looking for the next great fight, and you're laying in your bed in the hospital. You know,
yeah,
so it's something that you again must be given credit for.
yeah. I'm definitely giving credit for, but I think I can credit also that for being from Philly, a lot of Philly guys have that type of mentality. Um, we come from a rough or grimy place, and we definitely had that mentality. So we carried it on our back well.
Do you feel any sort of extra responsibility or extra sort of kudos because your postcode or your zone is Philadelphia, and there's been a lineage of great fighters from Philadelphia? Do you feel Brian Jennings has to sort of be the one that continues and carries that mantle through, or just feel, well, look, I'm just from Philly, fine, but I do my own stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm from Philly, fine. I do my own stuff, but it's Philly's in me, so it'll never leave me, and those are the things that'll follow me, forever. As long as my career, is active. Being from Philly, you can't take that away from me. What you gonna say? What? Kill yourself, rebirth, and say you from somewhere else? Nah, I'm from Philadelphia. I have a Philadelphia style. Um, Philadelphia is known for it. It's just something that's in us. Being from here, it's nothing you can take away. You can't even really pinpoint it, and it's just like every Philly fighter has it, and nobody knows. Maybe it's in the water. I don't know, but we all have it.
Roger Mayweather says that as it's in the Midwest, the best fighters are from the Midwest. Is this true?
Yeah, I actually had an argument with Roger when Cotto when Floyd was fighting Cotto that weekend,
Right.
and yeah, he said the best fighters are from Midwest, and I was like, nah. See the Midwest. See what he's considering Midwest is maybe a couple states, a few states, and I'm just like, we talking about one city here. We're not talking about four or five different states. Because I'm not saying the East Coast. I'm just saying Philly. Philly has the best fighters.
Did he turn around and tell you you don't know what about boxing? Did he say to you?
Yeah. No. You know what? He ain't say that, but his facial expression. He's a very argumentative person. Like he wants to argue.
I would have paid to watch
God,
that. I would have definitely paid to watch that one.
yeah, yeah. But I held my ground. Only thing I wanted to do was just say, hey, what's up, Roger? That was in 2012. That was my first time seeing Rogers. I'll just say, hey, what's going on?
Wow. Finally, got to answer this question I don't think I've ever asked you. What sort of a heavyweight champion of the world are we going to get with Brian Jennings?
You're gonna get a complete one. One. I'm not gonna say one that you've never seen before, but one you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe a combination of a few. Because I am myself. So
Yes.
I mean, most people they go crazy with the comparisons. Um, Feel free to compare just as long as they're great.
Right. Right. Are you going to be the heavyweight champion of the world or the heavyweight champion of America?
I don't even think that's the title. Heavyweight champion of
Well,
America.
but you know what I say by it is because Floyd Mayweather is a great champion, but we want to see him in London. We want to see him fight in London. So we want to know that
He
we want
wants
to
me to make a muscle.
make a muscle then. We want to know that if when you become heavyweight champion of the world, will you come to London?
Yeah, I'll definitely be flying around. I'll definitely be floating around. I won't just stay in America.
That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear
I'm,
this. I'm a heavyweight champion of the world. I want to stake all my fights in America.
yeah, nah. I'll be able to. I would love to showcase my skills around the whole world. I mean, that's what's going to make that international athlete.
And you're talking money now. When you say the pound is more than the dollar. I hope you know that.
And yeah, hell yeah. See, the pound is definitely more than $1. So
So you need to get yourself over here, quick time, quick fast. Get that title and come over here, man.
heavyweight status.
That's it. Brian Jennings, always a pleasure talking to you. And you know, we love you, man. We expect you to do great things in the heavyweight division, starting with Mike Perez.
Thanks, man. You already know it's going down July 26th, baby.
Absolutely. You got a message for your fans before we go?
I'd like to thank everybody for supporting me. You already know what it is. It's your boy BY Jennings. I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you follow me at Twitter at BY Jennings or on Instagram at BY Jennings. Watch my life post by post. Live it, feel it, dream it, witness, baby. The best heavyweight in the world. Bye-bye, Jennings.
That's what we're talking about. Bye-bye, Jennings. This is Bayloric TV, and we are out.
All right.
Brian,
Peace.
thank you so much.
No problem.
Take care, champ.
All right, take care.